It was 2:17 in the morning. The hostel hallway was completely empty, only a single fluorescent light flickering above. Tick, tick, tick. The air felt heavy, almost impossible to breathe, as Max slowly climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor. His friend Amin had been missing for 3 days, and the last message he sent still echoed in Max's mind. "Don't go to 306. There's someone in there." Max had laughed it off at first, thinking it was just a prank. But ever since Amin disappeared, strange scraping noises had been coming from the 3rd floor every night, like a chair dragging across the floor, stopping, then dragging again, as if something was pacing in the dark. Pause. Room 306 had been locked for 15 years. No one lived there. No one ever went near it. But tonight, the door was slightly open. Max's hands trembled as he stepped closer, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. He knocked softly. Knock, knock. And from inside, a familiar voice whispered, "Max, open the door." It was Aman's voice. Max pushed the door open, and a rush of icy air hit his face. The room was pitch black, silent, empty, except for an old rusted bed in the center and Aman's phone lying on top of it. Pause. The screen was on, a video playing. Aman appeared on the screen, crying, his face pale, his voice shaking. "Max, if you're watching this, I'm not alive." The camera slowly turned behind him, and standing in the corner of the room was a tall, shadowy figure, unnaturally thin, completely black, with no face at all. Max dropped the phone, his breath caught in his throat, and when he slowly turned around, Aman was sitting on the bed in front of him, his body faced forward, but his head was twisted all the way around, staring directly at Max, smiling in a way no human ever could. "You're late," he whispered. Suddenly, the lights went out, the hallway outside filled with the sound of footsteps. Not one, but many, echoing closer and closer. Max ran for the stairs, but the main gate was locked. Every room door shut tight, every window sealed. The entire hostel felt abandoned, except for room 306, its door now wide open at the end of the corridor. From inside, dozens of overlapping voices called his name. Soft at first, then louder. "Max, come inside." The next morning, students found Max's bag lying near the staircase, but Max himself was never seen again. And even today, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the door of room 306 slowly creaks open on its own, and from the darkness inside, a whisper can still be heard. Another one has arrived. Emily was only 9 years old, but every single night she woke up screaming, telling her mom there was someone under her bed. Not a monster, not a dream, but someone who whispered her name in the dark. Her mother, Sarah, would smile gently and check under the bed each time, finding nothing but dust and shadows, telling her monsters weren't real, that it was just her imagination. But Emily always shook her head slowly and said, "He talks to me. He knows my name." One evening, Sarah decided to prove it once and for all. She knelt down and looked under the bed carefully, and there was nothing there, except an old doll lying near the wall, its hair tangled, its eyes wide open. Emily quickly grabbed it and hugged it tightly. "This is Ryan. He's my friend," she said in a calm voice that didn't sound like hers at all. Sarah didn't remember buying that doll, but she assumed it was something forgotten in a toy box, and she let it go. That night, the house was unusually quiet. No wind outside, no cars passing by, just silence pressing against the walls. Around 2 a.m., Sarah woke up to the sound of something scraping softly across the floor, like nails dragging on wood. Slow, steady, getting closer. She rushed into Emily's room, and the bed was empty, the window still locked from inside, the bedroom door closed. The only strange thing was a small, dark opening beneath the bed, a hole in the floor that had never been there before. Police were called. The floorboards were torn apart, revealing a narrow tunnel beneath the house. Far too small for an adult, but just enough for a child. The tunnel led down into an old, hidden basement no one knew existed. The air inside smelled rotten, damp, heavy, and hanging from the ceiling were dozens of dolls, maybe 50, maybe more, each one dirty, broken, their mouths stitched shut with black thread. On the far side of the basement, sitting quietly in the corner, was Emily, alive, staring at the wall, smiling softly. Sarah ran toward her in tears, but when Emily slowly turned her head, her eyes looked darker, empty, almost hollow, and her voice, it wasn't the voice of a child anymore. "He said you wouldn't believe me," she whispered. "Now it's your turn to listen." The lights in the basement flickered violently. The dolls began swaying gently, though there was no wind. And one by one, their stitched mouths started tearing open on their own. The police officer near the stairs froze, saying he felt someone breathing right behind him, even though no one was there. Emily was taken to the hospital that same night. Doctors said she was in shock, but she barely spoke, just stared at the space beneath her hospital bed, smiling faintly. Around 3:03 a.m., security cameras captured something chilling. Emily slowly slid off her bed, dropped to the floor, and crawled underneath it, even though there was no space for her body to fit. She kept crawling and crawling until her legs disappeared into complete darkness. And then she was gone. When nurses rushed inside seconds later, the room was empty, the floor perfectly normal. No holes, no tunnels, nothing unusual at all, except for one thing. Sitting right in the center of the bed was the same old doll, its eyes slightly moving, as if they had just blinked. And even today, whenever a child wakes up in the middle of the night and whispers, "There's someone under my bed," sometimes, if you listen carefully, you might hear a soft breath coming from the darkness, waiting